Hello, I'm Damian Journey, Global Chief Growth Officer at 72 and Sunny, and I'm super excited to be here at the Sunnyside Series. We're coming to you live from New Orleans, Louisiana, at Stagwell Sport Beach Clubhouse, here at the Super Bowl, where we're celebrating the intersection of sport, culture, and fandom. And I couldn't be more excited to be sitting here with my friend Brandon Marshall, who you may know from a lot of different things, but he is the founder and CEO of I Am Athlete. Brandon, good to see you, buddy.
You can say co-founder because it takes a team, and I feel like, everybody that's helped me get to this point and the platform is all partners, and that's the day that I'm really excited about when we're back in the South for friends, but not for Cam Lyon, and we're sitting on this yacht because we're celebrating some type of exit or some type of liquidity event.
Yeah.
Right? Or making some big decision. But but did you say global? Look at it like that.
I mean, that's the official title, but
Global.
that's not the most important part of the story. I just here to try to raise the people and grow all the things that I'm
That's right.
with. That's my goal. But it's not about me. This is about you.
There you go.
So let's start with why people probably know you most, which is your illustrious football career.
Yeah.
Played for the Broncos, played for the Bears, you played for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Those were the stops that I think are seared in people's minds. I've been with
Jets.
the Jets. The
Those
Jets.
four.
The Jets.
Those
I've
four.
forgotten about the Jets.
The rest, no, it doesn't matter. The other two don't matter. But it's really three because my last stop was in New Orleans, but I had a little cup of tea and a beignet. Is that what it's
beignet.
called? A beignet and a cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah, but those first four is what matters, right? Like Denver Broncos drafted me. I was there for 4 years, forever be in my heart. They gave me my opportunity when a lot of people thought I couldn't even play wide receiver in the NFL.
I don't know why they thought that.
I know, you're right.
Dude big?
Yeah, Denver Broncos to the Miami Dolphins, Chicago Bears, and then the Jets was just a legendary moment for me, right? Like it was just my prime.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, my personality, my energy, that blue collar approach, it just worked in Chicago and it worked in New York. And playing on the Jets, right? They were struggling.
Yeah.
And so coming in and being the face of the Jets
Yeah.
in New York, it's special. And so we just had we just lit up the city, and I was at the center of that. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of attention. And even still to this day, I travel to New York. I go to the Garden, go to Barclays Center. They put my highlights on the Jumbotron.
Oh.
They show a lot of love. So Chicago and New York was phenomenal, but New York is like, wow.
Yeah,
It's
man.
New York City.
It's New York City.
Like I played for, but I also played for the Giants, where we I don't really talk about those last couple teams, and not because they weren't great organizations, but I really didn't contribute the way I wanted to contribute. But man, when I think back on my career, it's like I played for the Jets and the Giants.
That's awesome.
Like that's, I mean,
Two iconic franchises.
it's like I go back and it's like, wow, I really did this.
You did this. So let's talk about
Yeah.
like you doing this. Where are you from?
Yep.
And tell us how you got from that place in life to getting drafted by the Broncos.
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the poorest county, the poorest town in all of Pennsylvania, East Liberty, Larmer Avenue, and in that area, and really all through Eastern PA, and a lot of PA is like football is like king.
Yeah.
It's everything. And so that's all I knew growing up. That's all I wanted. There wasn't a plan B, although I was a great student. It was just all about football. I thought when I was 6 years old that I could score touchdowns in the National Football League watching Barry Foster tote the rock for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And so I just focused, man. I put my head down, focused, and it was tough. It was one of the hardest things that I had to do, not the hardest thing that I had to do. Actually building a business it feels like 5 times harder. But I made it, man.
Yeah, you
I
made
made it. It was really rewarding.
Yeah, I can remember my wife's from Denver, and the whole family. Like Denver is a city that lights up for the Broncos. Like,
Right.
yeah, they've got the Nuggets and they won a championship. They're like, golf clap, great job. Golf clap, like, oh, you won a championship, wonderful, good job. What about those Broncos? Are they going to win the game next week? That's really all they care about. So like, you have legendary status there, and so people. I've been with you when people stop you on the street, and say, Brandon, oh my gosh, yeah. And so, tell me about you wanted to be a kid who wanted to score touchdowns. You became that person.
Yeah.
And you did it in a legendary status level.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel to you, looking back on your 6-year-old self and the time in between? Like, tell me what that life is like.
Yeah, that's why I was telling that story about the Jets and the Giants the way I was is because, when you're in it, like I expected that.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was 6 years old, I can score a touchdown.
Look, I can do this.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you think about how powerful the mind and the brain is, it's like you have a goal, you write it down, then you say it, then you see it, but then you also got to feel it and believe it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other part, and a lot of people miss that part.
And put in the work to get there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once you start seeing it and feeling it, it's just one of those things where the work just starts to follow, right? If you really want it. So I thought I was going to make it. I knew I was going to make it, right? Now that I'm out of it, I look back and I say, wow, how did I do that?
Yeah.
When I watch the game, how tough it is and understanding what they go through. And then I have this sense of pride too, where it's like, man, I played for the Jets. Yeah, I played for the Giants.
Yeah.
You walk out and, when you're covering, when I'm covering it on the media side or they bring me back, I'm like, wow.
Okay.
So it's a lot of gratitude now.
Well, we've covered football. That's excellent. But more important even is the venture you started.
Yep.
I Am Athlete is giving voice to athletes in a way never before. Talk about that. That's really important. I want people to understand what you're up to now.
Yeah. So listen, I'm in the creator economy. Who thought that I didn't grow up thinking that I was going to be a YouTuber, an influencer? Those terms didn't even exist. Right. Even when I was in a league, like nobody was thinking about YouTubing or being an influencer. And so that's what I became. It's the hottest, like emerging economy in the world right now. And so we were kind of at the forefront on the athlete side, but now it's oversaturated. Now I wouldn't even say it's oversaturated. Now it's filled with so many amazing athletes telling the stories that we've always told in the locker room, but there was no cameras around. So we were at the forefront of that. And so, we kind of created a blueprint for other athletes to follow. So that's something I'm extremely proud of because you heard this story before, but I spent an off season at Harvard with Professor Anita Bursing in her class, and
who, for the record, she was a first-year marketing professor when I was there at HBS.
Wow.
I was in her very first class. We knew she was greatness, but she's gone on a whole nother level of greatness,
right?
Bringing people like you in and beyond. Man,
and I'm like at the bottom of the totem pole, right? Like the people that she's been able to build cases around or also have joined the program or come back and share. It's unbelievable. So shout out to Anita. But yeah, man, so we spent that time with her and she really blessed me. I wasn't even thinking about a case study. So a lot of times when I tell the story, people are like, oh, you went to Harvard? Like I even went into the pro shop too and got all the
merch.
Well, I got more memorabilia than you because he also went to Harvard. He doesn't talk about it a lot.
Honor detail.
But yeah, I got more merch than you. And so, but people always like, oh, that was so smart, so genius. No, I just wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
I read her book, Blockbuster. I just wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
And she came up with the idea of the case study. She was like, oh, why don't we do this with you, right? So content and commerce came out of that. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Everything that I do today is built off of that. But the center of it is to leverage my platform to push back to the mental health community. Like it just turned into a cultural, social phenomenon. I just wanted to have an audience. I wanted when a game was taken away from me, I still wanted to walk around the city and people say Brandon Marshall, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to say, okay, great, you know me. Now, do you understand what we're doing in mental health and why this matters? We're here, Super Bowl 59 down here in New Orleans. And the first day, Monday, opening night, I leave the Superdome and I'm walking back to my hotel and the lady pulls me to the side and it's viral now. It's on ESPN and the NFL reposted it and it's out there now. But a lady pulls me to the side and she says, hey, I just want to let you know you shared your football life. It's a docu-series that the NFL films and the NFL Network puts out of all these greats in the NFL. And I was actually the first to do it. And I shared my journey around mental health. She's like, hey, when you did a football life, it actually inspired me to get help and it saved my life. right? And that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
That was 10 years ago. So that's, when you walk in your purpose, I think all these other things come along. There's still a lot of growing pains of building a company and learning how to manage and learning how to build. But, it's very special.
Well, what's special is being able to sit down with you. You've built this platform that's taking off. People feel comfortable talking to you in a way they don't. Athletes in particular are willing to open up to you on camera, on mic, and you can get information out of them. You can make them feel comfortable and secure in a way others can't.
Yeah.
So it's a gift. And I think you being so vulnerable to talk about mental health when no one else was talking about it was a grounding post for so many people. And I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable in that moment and delivering so much goodness to the world through it. So with that, Brandon, it's been a pleasure to all of you. Thanks for spending a little time with us here at Stagwell Sport Beach here in New Orleans at Sport Beach Clubhouse. It's excellent to spend time with great people and be able to have great conversations like this. Feel free to find us. I don't know. I'm just trying. Feel free to find us on 72 and Sunny's social, Stagwell Social, and have a great day.